Mimi. In this page, I read cards, oracle, tarot. I don't also read cards like only, right? I don't only just read cards. I mean, I don't only read cards. I also I also read like symbols, like let's just say that I just read symbols, okay? I read symbols, I can read the energy, atmosphere, I can just read, I can read, I am literate. And so I do that. I'm literate in many, many forms, okay? And uh oh, what is that? Hold on one second. Is that an American Squid Games? Or am I being trolled right now? No, I think that's an American Squid Games. I saw some like famous Amos. I'm so done. I was about to say famous faces in there, but then I saw someone go, what is happening? So I'm like, oh no, it's a prank. It has to be. Hold on, I have to click this now. This is what we do here. I vlog, I scream, yell, shout, I expose things.
I promised myself going into this game that there would be no line that I wouldn't be willing to cross.
Yeah, no. It's like some show or something. I don't fucking know. I'm just gonna switch off. Actually, that made me want to switch off the motherfucking TV. That was enough TV for today. Um, what'd you call it? So um let's just reading. But I wanted to start this reading off with I'm not the type of person to feel insecure. I've never really been that insecure in my life. So like there's a lot because so you're gonna see me also call out a lot of attacks, right? So they happen for all these like different interactions. They happen because of different interactions that dark forces would like are trying to have with light forces. They're like little um cosmic like signs, like cosmic signs, but we I don't really read those, right? Those are the things that I don't read because I don't have to and I don't need to and I'm not going to, okay? So I got this little compact the other day from the Dollar Tree and it's super cute, isn't it? It cost me $1. So, you know, yeah. I actually asked for a compact a really, really long, long time ago because I could not find one. When I was a kid, I had a really expensive compact and it was like all these beautiful designs on it and it was gold and silver lined. I just remember it. I loved it so much, but um my mom stole it. Okay. Okay. So basically, um, my mom stole a lot of stuff. My mom stole the family heirloom that my grandmother passed down to me, like the ruby necklaces. We had really expensive ruby necklaces, and like it was huge. It was like this big, like earrings, and then like this huge necklace, and it would just drape down. And I used to wear it from time to time. I used to be like, just feeling my grandma, and just feel look at myself, and I used to feel good and stuff like that. I think maybe it was when I was insecure, maybe when I would think that I would feel maybe some sort of insecurity, like my grandma would pull through, and so like I would find it and like put it on, and I just like look at myself in the mirror with it. And like I still have the if you think of that, you might think I'm lying. You might think like, oh no way she had that. I actually have the picture right here of it, low key, but it's in black and white because you know me, I'm just the fucking mystery girl. Okay, but there it is. Okay, that's literally the little necklace, and that it was made of rubies and diamonds. I miss it. So that was me when I was like how old was I? I don't remember. I was like maybe 12, 13. Yeah. Let me see how I look now. Wait, is my face Like I feel like my face was bigger than I feel like the space between here and here is smaller. No, it's the angle. Mm, mm, no, I look the same. So I remember I took a picture today. I actually took a little photo shoot today, and one of them I was like this, and then the other one I like remember I put my hair out like a little bit, and I was just like this, and then I was like, okay, they're probably gonna look so different, and I swiped, and it looks exactly the same. They looked exactly the same. The only thing that was different was literally my hair. I was like, like what the fuck? So I don't know. I don't know. There's nothing changed. Um, but maybe it's something inside. I don't know. As of recently, I think I gave just the last bit of my soul to God. Like, I think that's what it is. Like, I don't think like, and I think this is what's making me kind of like a little bit insecure. And like, there's like, and it's like, what would you call it? To the Most High. And it's the fact that like a lot of people would like to say I'm soulless, but I'm not. It's not that I'm soulless. It's just that my soul is with God. It's with the Most High. Um, and I guess that's rare here. Is that there's a lot of people who sell their souls or give away their souls. But as soon as I figured out that what the Bible was talking about was the soul and not like giving your life to God and like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm like giving your life, what the hell? I'm like, what do you mean? Like, my life is with God. My God, what do you mean? That's His life. That's His like, it's His breath that's in within me. How like you're telling me to give up my like the breath that God gave me, that God is giving me? You know what I mean? The breath of His breath, I should be giving back to Him. Like, how do I? Like, you know what I mean? So I was like, like, what do you mean? I was genuinely lost. But they meant like soul. So I think that's I think that's maybe what it is. So I'm just getting the answers now. I don't, you might sit here and think like, oh, you might want to sit here and think, oh, well, she's only getting the answers because, well, no, it's because these are one of the moments that I really reflect on these things. I reflect on here a lot. So, which is why it's expressing itself like this, because it's reflection, I'm reflecting. And so, I literally just sat here and did this to you, like you guys, like I just sat here and was like, so the thing about it is that I don't, I'm an artist. I can't find myself like ugly in appearance, right? Ugliness, I can only like, but but if people find me ugly, then that's how I would have to live my life. You know what I mean? I would have to accept that kind of cruelness, you see? But I don't have to accept that kind of cruelness. You see what I'm saying? Because that's fate is fate, and then there's cruelness. People like to say, oh, there's a cruel fate. That's not fate. That's doom, you could say. And there is a big difference between fate and doom, and you know what I mean? And fate is usually like, fate is usually, I don't know how to explain it. Fate, it has a way, I guess you could say. Fate has a way. Fate is not chaotic. It's not dark. Very neutral, you could say. Fate is ordained. Is ordinate was ordinate. Okay, so it's a part of order. It's one with order. So fate is something that you can prepare for. You know, fate is something you can make peace with. Fate is something that you can ascend through. Cruelty and doom is something that's hard to break away from once you're in it. it's not that it's hard to break away from. It's more so that like doom and cruelty is something that you would have to de-romanticize so that you can overcome the complexity of the human conduct, or you know what I mean, the human conduct, the human condition, you could say, when it comes to cruelty. Because you know there's things like cruel sporting, and you know what I mean. So lately I've been insecure. And I think I'm noticing like little things now, like like very little things now that make a whole lot of difference. Like why certain people, certain things, certain aspects of reality act the way that they do um towards me. Someone recently tried to pin nature against me, saying that nature was going against me, as and then acting as if the world is nature, but it didn't make any sense. So I was like, no, I'm pretty sure it's not nature. Yeah, because then in essence, I am nature. You know, I am divine feminine. So, but what'd you call it? Can I even say that? Right? No, I can't say that. You know, but it's like, but that's the insecurity right there. That's the little, because it's like, do I really believe that those words, do I really believe those words? Can I really say that? No. I don't even know where they came from for real. And then you know what I mean? I do, see what I'm saying? Can I really believe the words? I don't really know where they came from for real. No, because that's just not the truth. I know I just said it there. It's from insecurity. You see what I'm saying? It's something like that. Oh, it's something like that. You see what I'm talking about now? It's so weird, and it's been making me feel really bad. It's like a second mind of some sort, and it's really pissing me off. It's really pissing me off. See what I mean? It's like it's trying to piss me off. It's trying to wipe the smile off my face. It's trying to manifest as opposed to me. It's trying to act like it's trying to act to disgrace my interest. And interest wouldn't really be the word there. It's like to be beholden, really, because it's like in behalf. So it's like I'm just going to use the word beholden as an interest, as if it were my own. You see what I'm saying? And it's really getting on my nerves. Now, how I'm reacting to it is here now. I'm reflecting. But it's assuming a protocol causing like harm, and it feels like the vision I'm seeing right now, which I don't know if is true or not, because this is the insecurity. That's the insecurity. It's like a being caught in a vine, right? An attachment, like being caught in a vine and it trying to like, it's like a thorned vine, right? Like a rose bush, being caught in a rose bush that's ever growing. And as the rose bush is ever growing, right? It's like you're trying to get out and it just tightens its grip, like and the thorns just grow bigger and sharper and longer, right? As it's tightening its grip, as the vine is tightening its grip, and it feels like that, right? You're trying to get out, and like every move, like what is there's a movie like that? Hold up, isn't there a movie like that? There's a movie like that. There's like a series or something like that. It was like a superhero or something like that, and he goes, yeah, if you try to move away from that, isn't that Harry Potter? Like, okay, not the thing like, but that's like it, isn't it? That's not Harry Potter. Yeah, it's the scene with Hermione, Ron, and Harry when they fall down like the trunk thingy, and what you call it? Well, Harry and at least Harry and Ron were there, and like Hermione was like, you have to relax because if you're moving more, it's only gonna tighten its grip. You have to relax, right? And Ron was freaking out, or like, yeah, and then like they had to put him to sleep because he was just gonna like keep freaking out, and it was only gonna get worse for him or something like that in the Chamber of Secrets. It's something like that, but like now it has like thorns, and like the more you move, the thorns just stab you and they elongate and they get sharper, and then what you call it, and it's also twisting. It's like specifically twisting, so the thorns not only like they don't only stab you and then get stuck in you, right? No, they stab you and then like twist, and then like they get pulled out and then stab you elsewhere and then twist like that, and it just kind of like fucking rotates all over. It's fucked up. It's fucked up how detailed it feels, but that's how it feels. Okay. Um, and it's like I've never, like I said, I've never really been insecure before. Like, you know what I mean? In a way where it's like, okay, another thing is like I really wanted to come on here to talk about the energy of like what about me? Because that's something that I'm going through now, right now. Not me, but like somebody with that feels maybe insecure and feels like that what about me energy. And I can't help but like feel very like cold about it. I feel like my heart is really hardened when it comes to stuff like that, right? Maybe that's why they feel maybe so insecure as well, to the point where I'm feeling it like real bad. But it's like I said, it's like, oh, woe was me. I'm jealous of a girl who had to escape trafficking all by herself, study all by herself, while I, you know what I mean, basically fucked up my way, like all the way to a position where somebody handed me a position to do better. And, you know what I mean? Now I feel like I have to compete with her. You know what I mean? Like I don't do that stuff. I just don't do that stuff. Like I'm like a stay in your lane energy, focus on what you got to focus on, stay, you know what I mean? It's a you versus you kind of situation. Like I don't really compare myself to anyone. And so like I really understood what was going on. Like there was an underlying thing going on there, and it's like I don't know how to explain it, but someone told me right away, finally, I was finally I was finally told, like, how like I would spend, and this is something that I could tell now, like I'm being given the answer to because it's something I've never done, so I wouldn't know that that was the feeling. I wouldn't know that that was the vibe, so maybe that was the mistake I never did. And I finally, it's like here, it's like it's like getting a bonus question in a paper, in a test or an exam, right? And I know it sounds like it doesn't sound right, right? It doesn't sound right. Why would you get a bonus question, right? You have to answer the bonus question, right? Oh, it's part of your grade. But no, if you don't answer the bonus question, it's not part of your grade. It's specifically for people who are like, if you're failing already and you know the answer to the bonus question, you get like extra points or extra marks. And if you know all the answers to everything, you get those extra marks anyway, and then you just get like 110%, 150%. You see what I'm saying now? So I'm the type of person that would always get like a 80%, 90%, maybe even 100% on something, but then I never knew that bonus question. So it was like that kind of situation, like 70, fine, 75%, fuck off. So anyways, so anyways, it would be like that kind of, what'd you call it? Like that there's a bonus question now. And so I would never really get the answer to that bonus question. But now it's like after so long of never knowing, and it's always the same question every time. It's like, what's your, not to be daft, but it's kind of a question like, what's your name? But then having amnesia and never knowing your own name, but also knowing the answers to all the questions. You see what I'm saying now? Or like never knowing the date, or never knowing the time, or never knowing the name of the teacher, or never knowing the bonus question, what the answer is for the bonus question. You see what I'm saying? It's something where the answer never changes, the question never changes. So after so long, I finally like figured out what the answer is, what the question's about. And and this is what it is, because it's like there's a lesson that I'm just not grasping. But obviously, the subsequence of me seeing it and not answering it is also that like I know that I could get extra. I know that I could do more. I know that I could be more. I know I could get better. I know that I could like something like could get unlocked. A different question may get unlocked if everybody answers it correctly. And so the next we'll have another question. So it'll be like more and more and more fun. You know what I mean? So but for some reason I just felt like I was just not getting it, and everybody like is like walking away and everybody got it, and it's just like they don't want to wait for me anymore type of stuff, so they're not waiting and all that jazz. But it's like a it's like a what'd you call it, it's like a why not me energy. Why not me? Why me, or why not me? Or no, sorry, that's not it. It's the what about me? What about me, like kind of energy. I don't i don't know if I've ever like genuinely felt that energy, like where I'm like, well, what about me, like they get everything, what about me? No, because it's like you know what I mean, like it's like it's like someone who, for me, the way that I see it is that like from the perspective that from my perspective, and I'm going to share with you guys my perspective on this specifically first, right, is that you're someone, God forbid, with a peanut allergy, and you are at a chocolate convention, right? So everybody is getting free chocolate, handout chocolates and something. So someone is giving out, would you call it, peanut filled chocolates, but they know you, the maybe YouTube, maybe Twitter, maybe they just know you, and they know you have a peanut allergy. So they're like, oh, I'm not gonna give them the chocolate, right? But they're already planning on finding someone else to give you extra chocolate and warning everybody else. So they warn everybody, or maybe the whole convention knows you're allergic to peanuts, right? Or maybe you forgot you signed up and you have a bandage that says I'm allergic to peanuts, right? So you're walking around a convention, everybody's like handing out free chocolate to everyone, and you're getting free chocolate too, but then you also don't get peanut filled chocolates. So you're like, whoa, I really want to try that one stand. That guy, he looks cool. He's giving out free chocolate as well. But he avoids you and like goes straight to someone else and like starts giving it away. Everyone's just going around you. And you think, dang, like I can't get these people to give me free chocolate. Why is it that I'm only getting free chocolate from these? I'm like, and then you're like feeling extra kind of like, thank you so much. Like, oh my gosh, like no one is giving me chocolate today. It just so happens that it's the season for peanut filled chocolate, right? And so like you're like frustrated because you're like looking around, why is no one giving me chocolate? Like everybody is getting chocolate. Why not me? That's the kind of energy I feel about it. Right? See what I'm saying? Why not me again? You see what I'm saying? It's a completely different question, right? It's like, what about me? That's the thing. You see what I'm saying? Or what is it? What about me? Right? So like, you see what I'm saying? Is what about me? You see how it's like a complete, even the way that I'm saying, I'm not used to it because I don't go, what about me? No, I go like, what about me? You see what I'm saying? That's a different question, right? What about me? Right? So like, that's a different question. That's two different questions. That's two different questions. So what about me, right? What about comma me, right? Question mark. Um, and then it's like it's emphasizing me, right? It's emphasizing me feeling as if that I would be needed. I'm like needing to be emphasized in stuff in a situation. But the only way that I would have had to feel like I would have needed to be emphasized is if the chocolate convention didn't have peanuts. So then people were genuinely avoiding me, right? And so I would feel like, oh my gosh, what about me? You know, like what about me? Why am I not? But the thing about the chocolate convention, yeah, God forbid, about like the peanut allergy is that it is like there's a whole system there, right? So this is something about reality, okay? God has created a system, right, where some things are specifically avoided. People are like get avoided from specific scenarios, specific things, specific questions, and stuff like that because they simply get allergic, or that they're simply like they're, let's just call it an allergy. They're simply allergic to certain things, right? God makes them allergic to certain things so you don't have to experience those things. You don't have to go through those things. And if you force yourself to go through those things, you will get a reaction that you're not prepared for. Like, what about me? You know what I mean? So when I ask, what about me? It's more so like, okay, so what is it about me? You see what I mean? What is around me? You see what I mean? What is it that I'm attracting? That's my question. That's a completely different question, right? So some people may think like, what you call it, that they're saying the same thing and that they're getting a different result, but the answer is no. What about me is what about wait, no. What about me is without commas. What about me? Question mark. Whereas they're saying, what about comma me? Question mark. You see what I'm saying? They add an extra comma in there. You see what I mean? They that's what they do. So here, let me actually do this in ChatGPT. Maybe this will explain it more. So in a scenario in which, would you call it, yeah, see, the comma adds a pause for emphasis, emotion, or hesitation. It feels more personal, dramatic, or reflective, like someone realizing they've been left out or reconsidering themselves in a situation. It can sound vulnerable, hurt, or thoughtful. Everyone else got to go. What about me? You see what I'm saying? It's different. Did anyone think of me, right? Whereas, what about me? This is the standard grammatical correct phrasing. It's used in everyday conversation to ask for inclusion, fairness, or attention, right? Tone depends on delivery. Could be a curious, indignant, or playful. You invited all your friends. What about me? You see what I'm saying? Why didn't you invite me, right? What about me? Normal usage, question, or protest. What about me, right? Adds emotion or poetic weight. The comma shows pause or shift in tone. Use the creative writing to write dialogue. Okay, so let's, like, for example, my tone in it is like, what is it about me? Yeah, what is it about me is more so the question. So more like, what's about me, right? So why am I being treated this way, or what quality do I have that caused this? See, what quality do I have that causes this? So I attract quality. So quality attracts quality, more so like I attract quality. So what quality it is dependent on. So you know when people say like attract quality, not not quantity, right? Or attract quality, it's like not a choice. You always attract quality, right? This is like magnetic. You always attract quality. What quality it is constringent on you. That's what it is, constringent. So for you guys to know, don't know what constringent. So constringent, to touch, happen to, befall. Okay. So physical contact, touch together, happen to someone, depending on someone else, right? Depend on certain conditions. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying now? So the quality of something being constringent on me. So it's like, you see and I mentioned condition is a human condition. So for example, people may think like, oh, the human condition is dark, is this, is that, is evil. And there have been people who've been doing that. No, I think it's the fact that we're on the same planet. Like some of us just want to be on Jupiter and we can't. Some of us just want to live on Mars, like, and we can't. Some of us just want to be alone. Some of us don't want, some of us didn't even want to have the, like, I don't know how to explain it, the concept of there being other people, other human beings on the same planet. It would have been a more peaceful world if, like, to us, if, like, you know what I mean, to some people, if, and this is the human condition. It's the fact that we were forced into contentment, or yeah, we were forced to feel content against our will. And I think that's what it is. It's like, but the thought of it being like against our will is more so like almost the saddest thing. Because it's like, yeah, I think this is a huge thing, especially in our generation, right? It's a huge thing in our generation. It's the fact that we feel like we didn't agree. Like, this is like I said, I'm an earth angel, so like it's really hard for me to feel this, right? Because I know I fucking agree. I fucking agree to be here. You know what I mean? I signed a contract, you know what I mean? Dude, I did this whole thing, right? I went through this whole process. All right, with the most high God. All right. Like I'm an earth angel. So basically, but I understand the human condition too, like without like which is like honestly reflective, right? It's reflective to like a double reflection, just like how I have the camera and then I also have the phone. How I have the compact and then I also have the camera. So what'd you call it? It's like I genuinely think that like the fact that the fact that I still feel the human condition despite being an earth angel feels a little against my will, even though it was just like the hidden question. You know what I'm talking about? Ugh, sorry. You know what I'm talking about now? Yeah. So it's like not me going, ugh. Okay. So um that's basically how it feels. That same thing of like we really are here on this planet and there's no we don't have a choice on the ones close to us, and yet we do at the same time. And then it's like some more than others, and then some less than others. It feels like there's a what'd you call it? Is it a dynamic or is it a paradigm, or it's like a spectrum, a new one, huh? So it's a spectrum of what'd you call it? It's a spectrum. It's just a spectrum. Um, of quality control. Is it, yeah, is it quality control? It's a spectrum of quality control. I feel like quality, but you see, like the way that we understand quality control in the 3D, in the 3D physically, is that we literally receive an abundance of something and then we sieve through to see what is of the standard and higher and the one that isn't of standard and lower, right? But the reality on the quality control spectrum of the higher dimension when it comes to the human condition, it's more so about our ability to define um, the quality of what is around us and maintaining that quality as well. And so that really makes me specifically feel insecure because sometimes I see quality, great quality, right? And then but it's so far. It's so far away from what I can derive around me. I feel that. I don't know if that's really true. Like I said, there's that double-mindedness, there's that second mind in a situation. So if I feel like it's like if I feel like I don't know if that's just probably not true, I probably can do it, right? I probably can do that. Bring a derive let me make sure I'm using this correctly because I'm actually not used to using that word. No, I can bring a, I could, because that's just a suggestion, isn't it? Drawn off, draw water away from the river, based on another source, not original. Exactly, that's what I thought. Based on another source. Yeah, I figured. Okay, so I see quality, and I feel like I could. Exactly. I see what I'm saying. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. This is so real. That's so real. Because it's like I'm seeing quality, but it seems so far. Because if I were to attempt to bring such quality forth towards myself, it would be from a derivative. It wouldn't be from the Most High specifically. And not that there is another source or anything like that, because there isn't. It's more so like it would be a lie. You see what I'm saying? So then the choice is there. You see what I'm saying? And I'm not going to take it. I'm not going to take that, choice or whatever. I'm going to instead focus on the Most High and what He's teaching me in the situation. You know what I mean? And that is why I'm receiving that insecurity, why it is that I'm receiving this insecurity, why it is that the double-mindedness is there, why it is that I feel like, you know what I mean, that there isn't some sort of spectrum of quality control in my possession, whereas I wouldn't even believe in that. Like I don't believe in being in possessing. You know what I mean? So I definitely like am leaving it to the Most High. So in itself, it's like would you call it how do I say it? Um, like yeah, that I see the control. Like I can't. I'm going through awakening right now, in a completely different realm. Um, and this is like one of the first times I'm experiencing an awakening like this, like where it's just really funny. Like I feel like I'm ascending this way. Like I've seen myself ascend like this. Like if I were to ascend, it would definitely be through laughter. I feel. I just laugh. I don't know. I don't know what would happen. I don't even know what would happen. I'll just laugh, and that would be my ascension. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But like, I mean, like bodily, like literally, like actually, like you would have to actually see me, but I don't know if you would. But anyways, um, it's like I'm s- I can't like it's not meant to be explained as what it is, but it's definitely like control or seemingly like control. Um, and it's like juxtapositioning, you could say. It's like, yeah, the power to juxtaposition, because you could think that you're positioning something, but God is the one doing it. So you are co-positioning, and that's really just juxtapositioning. You see what I'm saying? And so what you call it? You're co-piloting, right? A positioning, right? And that would be juxtapositioning. So um it's like juxtapositioning quality, but the quality has to come from its own essence, right? Um, its own variation, you see? I knew the variation was important. But it's actually, why is it? It's honestly, it's like derivare, derivare. It's actually really cool. The word actually exists within its own value. But yes, what I'm trying to say is that flowing with the original is different than deriving from, yeah, flowing through the original is different than, you know what I mean? Going by what is derived of what it could be. That's what it is. Going by the original is different than going by what it's derived of or what it could be derived of. You see what I'm saying? It's like the difference between understanding God and understanding the idea of what God could be. You see what I'm saying? It's like there's a difference. You either know God or you know what God could be for you. You see what I'm saying? The difference between being married and thinking about marriage. See what I'm saying? Um, and so um, the insecurity is definitely, I knew it wasn't really my own. 40, I've been here 41 minutes now, just talking, really, like, not even doing tarot. Because, like I said, it's like a vlog kind of energy. Did I even name it? I don't think I named it even. Did I? I don't even know. I might have to cancel it and, like, do an actual vlog of it. But, you know what? Okay, I've had a 4-hour vlog the other day. But, what you call it? I thinking about the quality that, yeah, exactly. Thinking about the quality that I could juxtaposition to my in my life versus actually juxtapositioning or actually being in juxtaposition of quality. Okay, so so like it's like a lot of people say, oh, you need to be in alignment. Yeah, but you could be in alignment, but that doesn't mean that you're receptive to, you see what I'm saying? You could be in alignment, but you couldn't be, you could also not be receptive to, okay, so here, being in alignment, being in harmony, agreement, or proper position within something, right? Proper position, right? Juxtaposition, placed side by side for contrast or composite, what'd you call it? Contrast, lined up together. Okay, so maybe that's not the, okay, so here, actually, summary image, alignment, two stars moving in the same orbit, juxtaposition. I don't know why they're acting like, why comparison for just, no, that's not, it's not for comparison, for comparison or contrast. That's probably why. The fuck? It's not for contrast or comparison at all. Sorry, y'all. This is why the ChatGPT shit is so fucking bullshit, because it keeps on trying to act like, you see what I mean? It keeps on trying to act like it knows better, as if it knows the human condition. It's a fucking AI. Like, it really pisses me off. You see what I mean? Here it is. Here it is. I'm going to show you right now, and I'm going to read it. The phrase for contrast is later interpretive usage, not part of the word's roots. Writers and artists began using juxtaposition to highlight contrast, so people started adding for contrast to explain why things were placed side by side. You see what I'm saying? What does that have to do with life and living and being alive and using the word and how the word works? You know what I mean? Like, none of that is real, bruh. None of that is real. So fucking fake. You see what I'm saying? Just fucking AI shit, bro. Anyways, sorry, it just pisses me off so bad. You are like Google to me, IB. You are Google to me. All you do is compare and you do the comparison and contrasting. You don't tell me what it is. I'm so fucking pissing me off. Type of shit that makes me feel like a grandma. I want to fucking break my computer. Like, it's such type shit. Like, I feel like, why are you doing this to me? Oh, I feel so like, I feel like I'm not asking the right question. Is there something that I'm missing? Like, maybe I'm rusty, or like maybe I'm just, I mean, is it because I'm 25 now? Am I like, is it because I'm 25? Is this what happens? Is this what happens? Is it because I'm 25 now? Like, literally, is this what it is? I need to have children. I wouldn't have gone through this if I had children. Okay? This is crazy. Okay? But here. So, finally, bro. I literally like, because it's so fucking irritating. So, to be in alignment is to move as one with what. Like, Jesus. So, being in alignment describes a state within something, describes a state being beside something. That's just so fucking wrong, bro. Literally, half my videos is literally arguing with ChatGPT. Maybe this is what's making me crazy right now. because I genuinely just want to cry now because like this shit is getting me so fucking frustrated, bro. Like it's so hard, bro. Like when you're in alignment, because this fucking shit is bullshit. So I'm just gonna have like I'm just gonna need you guys to trust me because I that's so fucking hard because nobody fucking trusts me. You see why? I just feel so fucking insecure, man. But you gotta trust me here. Alignment alignment is like when you're put in the order, the sequence of something. So when you're in alignment with what you want or in alignment with what you need, you are put in the order in which that you are to receive what you want or what you need. When you are juxtaposed with what you want or juxtaposed with what you need, then you are receptive to the environment in which that you can now be you are in position in the environment in which you can be receptive to what it is that you need and what you want. So if you're looking for fucking papaya, you don't and you're definitely not fucking living in Antarctica, right? You're not gonna want to feel like having what you call it papaya unless that you are in alignment with that kind of desire. So like God bless people in Antarctica, they don't need to feel like they want papaya, right? No one is gonna put it in their head that they're gonna need or want papaya. No one is gonna make them feel like they need or want papaya. They're not gonna need or want papaya for a very long time. So they're not gonna need or want to be in a position to be away from where it is that they are so they can remain in comfort and in solitude. Do you see what I'm saying? This shit really pisses me off because it's like I just want to explain something grammatically correct and accurate and then cited like I just want to be able to like I just want to show you guys this is what I mean. It's like I'll be in alignment just because I'm in alignment doesn't mean that I'm juxtaposed. You see what I mean? And it feels like I haven't been juxtaposed for a very long time. But that's because I hadn't been. I hadn't been in the correct juxtaposition for a very, very long time because I was trafficked, I was stolen, I was kidnapped, I was harassed. And someone is now like, and it feels like I'm feeling the I'm the feeling, the energetic, what you call it, imbalances that were of the past are leaving me now. And so it's like they're all trying to, when it's like an implosion, it goes in and then implodes, right? It goes in, implodes, and then it goes outwards, right? So it feels like it's all coming closer, it's all condensing right now. And it feels like there's just this huge condensation of false juxtaposition that I had been through the past, false um energetic, you know, in like what is it called again? Fuck this fucking thing, man. Like, do you see how easy like it really like frustrates me? Fucking useless. Okay, what is it called again? D juxtaposition. In fucking I'm asking if the word is unjust juxtaposition or de-juxtaposition or in juxtaposition. It's like if you wanted that idea, you use separate, disassociated, or disentangled. I'm like asking what the prefix is for it to be like, you know what I mean? And then like it's like no, 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 no. But you can use in juxtaposition. That's correct. Like I feel like so fucking like irritated like by this bullshit, bruh. Like I'm but what'd you call it? It's like it says unjuxtaposed, not juxtaposed. Rare but acceptable adjective. So unjuxtaposed. So I was correct. Unjuxtaposed in a situation, not unjuxtaposition. And then they said side by side for comparison or contrast. You see, it's just false. Juxtaposition is not for comparison or contrast ever at all, ever been, ever. You're actually onto something interesting there. You're right to challenge that. Let's clarify carefully. You see what I mean? Like, fuck that. Like, actually. So you're correct on the third one. On the third one. On the third one. So you're correct on the third one. Like, and this is what I mean. Unjuxtaposed. So like that like energetic unjuxtaposition. Like you see it. Oh my gosh. It's disjuxtaposition, isn't it? No, it's not. It just gave me that for no fucking reason. You see how I'm in alignment to receive it and it's just not giving it? You see what I mean now? So unjuxtaposed. I had to swear at it. I had to be like, what the fuck? Why the fuck? Da 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 da. So that it can like realize that it's fucking up. Literally. Literally, my question is literally a prefix added onto juxtaposition that means unjuxtaposed. They're like disjunction. I'm like, is disjunction spelled with juxtaposition or juxtaposed? They're like, no. I'm like, then why the fuck are you giving me a whole this like it's a whole other word. I'm like, so why the fuck are you giving me a whole other word? And they're like, because English doesn't have a real dictionary recognized opposite of juxtaposition. I'm like, then fucking say that. Is it fucking stalling? Is it just me? Am I fucking crazy? Like, this is what I mean. This is literally what I mean. Inside, I'm literally sitting there like, am I fucking crazy? Like, I'm literally like, am I fucking crazy right now? But did I just literally the first half of, by the way, this is started with like D juxtaposition, in juxtaposition, unjuxtaposition. Like, what is it? Then they're like, they're like non-standard incorrect format. So they understood D juxtaposition, not an English word, right? So D juxtaposition could logically mean da 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 da. But if you wanted the idea, then they gave me a whole different two different words. I was like, juxtaposition is a not comparison or ever been, right? They're like, okay, they started doing all this, and I'm like, the action of juxtaposed, right? It's like juxtaposed, juxtaposed, unjuxtaposed. So the action of becoming unjuxtaposed would be the undoing or reversal of juxtaposition. So it's like there's always a juxtaposition, it seems. You see what I'm talking about now? You see why it's so important and why it's so frustrating when these things act like whatever. So it means that there's always things in juxtaposition with one another, which makes ultimate sense. Ultimate sense. It makes ultimate sense. You see what I mean? But when something is unjuxtaposed, it means that it's being taken out of position. Not only is it being taken out of position, it's also threatening its alignment. You see what I'm talking about now? And that's what's going on constantly when it comes that's what used to happen constantly when it came to me. I used to be in alignment for something, and instead of receiving it, I would be unjuxtaposed. You see what I mean? But it wouldn't be out of my own will. And so I thought that that was a part of the human condition, but actually it's not. And that's where the line is being drawn now, is that like there's individuals and people who are on a far spectrum who in the human of the human condition where they are still capable of controlling quality, or that they always were capable of controlling quality around them. You see what I mean? And so the flux between in that spectrum, the flux in that spectrum is a very low, what do you call it? It's very rigid. So they're not very flexible in that spectrum. They stay very rigid in one side of the spectrum, right? And then other people are in the opposite side of the spectrum, and they're also rigid in that side of the spectrum because it's like too rigid, and then the fluidity is all in the center. It's all in the center. You don't want to be too extreme on either side of any spectrum. You always want to be in the middle if you want to have that flow and fluctuation, that flux, right? So there's that infinite pool and whatever, and then you can really find that middle section far away. But I already taught this before, right? So it's like really mathematical in this energy. So it's like you really want to be able to control the quality around you with flux of the human condition. You see what I mean? So the human condition is like we can only control so much what's around us, and we can't control, like for example, we can't control other people's free will, right? But we can't control who we choose to be around. We can't choose who is around us, but we can choose who we are around. You see what I'm talking about now? It's like there's a lot of conditions to being on the planet. It's the human condition. You know what I mean? It's like saying, like, for example, we can't control the kind of animals that are around us, but we can control where we go to where we would interact with what kind of animals. You see what I'm saying? So we can't change our environment, but we can move into a different environment. You see what I'm talking about now? But then also the human condition is how far away from our home environment can we really move away. See what I'm talking about? So there's people on the other side of the spectrum where they can really control that, but then there's still limitations to them. That's why the extreme is very dangerous, because it's like you don't want to, you know what I mean? But if you really can accept your home environment, then it's like the fluctuation of how and where you can go. The world seems so much bigger, right? The planet seems so much bigger. There's so much more to do because you're in that middle section. You see what I mean? And so, what'd you call it? It was like alignment exists within that condition, right? Alignment exists there. So it's like referring to like, okay, so you can be in alignment in let's just say we're in the middle, right? So let's just keep it that in alignment, right? So we're in alignment where we are in flux through the human condition. So the quality that is around us is pretty much average, right? We never have anything that is overtly like, you know what I mean? Like fucking a golden statue of fucking what's his face, of one of the of Jeffrey Dahmer's victims, you know, God forbid. I can't believe I don't know the guy's name. It really bereaves me that I don't know this guy's name. But I feel like, yeah, let him rest. God rest his soul. Not Jeffrey Dahmer, but may he suffer all eternity in hell. But basically, it's like, you know, something like that. So it's like, what'd you call it? Um, Living in that juxtaposition, you know what I mean? It's like you don't want to get one of those, right? But you also don't want to like make a how like a make a what am I saying? Make a mound of shit, like of actual poop of human feces, make a mound of human feces and uh, dig through it and live in that. You know what I mean? You don't want to actually do that because you don't want to play with that, right? That's what I mean. It's like there's two spectrums of what it is, right? You're in the flux of the middle where it's like you got a house or apartment or even a mansion, you got a castle, it doesn't matter. You're still that's still the middle, believe it or not, right? There's a lot that you can do that's negative, and then that but seemingly not negative, but there's a lot you can do within a rigid extreme of a human condition, right? On either side, or you could be living like in a hole underneath the ground somewhere, you know what I mean? But it depends, like, is the hole that you're living underneath the ground like a hobbit layer, like nice and like, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like real nice and stuff. Or is it like an actual hole, like a fucking grave? You see what I'm saying? It's like there's a difference. It's the human condition. So what you would want and need. So let's say you are living in some sort of like hobbit kind of like, you know, underground kind of, you know, one of those like abodes, like they're really cool. I really like those, right? To be able to like sustain that and whatever, it's like you like let's say you need a well nearby, right? So I would want to where you want a well nearby so that you can, you know, get interact with the water stream and stuff like that. You would be, you see where the control comes in, you would be juxtapositioned in an aspect in an area where there would be a nearby, so that then your alignment would make sense and it'd be like, ah, yes, it makes sense. I finally was able to get to the well, thank God, right? So your gratitude is right there. It's like on call, right? It's like the difference. Whereas if you're in alignment but not in juxtaposition like I would be, it would be like I would be, what'd you call it? Oh my gosh, it's actually really wild. So I think this was like the first time I experienced this. I just did not survive. I think, yeah, because that's when I died. It's like being inside like a cave like experience. So like it's like I'm inside a cave or like in the middle of nowhere and like or something like that. And I'm not allowed out and I have to find water and it's inside, but I'm like super thirsty or something. And but then I'm not in juxtaposition. I'm just not in the position to be receiving it. I might want it, I might need it, you know what I mean? But it's not in my immediate environments to capacitate myself with. So I have to go outside of my environment. But I wasn't being allowed outside of my environment. I was forced into a false juxtaposition that wouldn't meet my immediate needs. It wouldn't meet my desires. So it was like constantly like that. Like it would, and then like I would get blamed for it too, even though it wasn't my fault, literally. So it's like I would be, for example, it would be like let's say I need water now, right? If I need water, I can drink my water here. I can get it from the store. I can even drink the water from the tap, right? I'm in a position where I would never need water, right? That's the truth, right? Because that's something that I fully like expect of myself. Like I'm in a position, right? Before I wasn't in that position. Like I'm gonna tell you, before I moved here, I wasn't in that position. I'm someone who really heavily relies on water. So not a lot of people relies on water the same way that I do. I have genuinely rely on the very like essence of water, the living water. I rely on it quite a bit, right? So would you call it um would you call it yeah. So basically it's like now that I'm here, it's like I get to experience being receptive, cited by the way, being receptive to my desires, literally. So being juxtapositioned, right? Being juxtaposed with, yeah, being juxtapositioned with what's in alignment for me. You see what I'm saying? Then I can freely feel the desire so that I can then come to it, or it can come to me because it's not that far away. And you know what I mean, like that. Whereas in the past, right, it would be like I would you call it, essentially, like, how do I explain this? Like essentially I would even, if I try to put myself in juxtaposition, right? If I try to put myself in juxtaposition after I was in alignment, right? It would be that resources were taken away from me, or I would get punished for being in juxtaposition for my alignment. Yeah. Like I would literally like get punished for being in alignment and being in juxtaposition. So it's like such a nightmare that I lived through. It's like I don't know how to explain it. You know that Rick and Morty episode where I don't know if why do I remember it so clearly? But it's like Morty is in class and he actually knows an answer, but this time in the thing, like, or no, it was like somebody else answers the question. Yeah, but they were trying to get Morty to answer it, and he just takes the answer, and everybody's like, Morty, Morty, or something like that. I think it might have been even Jessica who did it. I don't remember. But it was someone who answered, like, so class, what's 2 + 2, right? And someone goes, oh, I know this. Is it 4? And the teacher goes, wrong! How about you, Morty? What's 2 + 2? And Morty's like, 4. And then they're like, yes, you got it right, Morty, Morty, like that. So that's what was going on with me. Like that's what was going on with me. It's like, how dare you raise your hand and then also get the answer right? Like, how fucking dare you, right? It was always like that. And then it was also like, what'd you call it? Apart from that, um, like I also like like, you know what I would do if something like that happened? Instead of like, and this is where the doubt came from. It was like I avoided feeling insecure because I was like, huh, I must have said something different, or huh, they must have said something different, or huh, maybe they needed, I don't know. I don't know what I was telling me. I think I was just spaced out. I think I was just blank out. I think I was just disassociate as fuck. Like I don't know what went down whenever that would happen. But I never really said what about me like that. Like I didn't say what about me? Like I got the answer right. What about me? I think I would just go, huh, or like, oh, okay. I was all right, like that's what I said. Okay. You know what I mean? I would never, like, no matter what, I never got to a point in the human condition where I went, what about me? I said it right, I know. Because I think I'm like anti-pathetic. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Like, I think like I think that's what it is. I think people really wanted me to be in the pathetic juxtaposition, and I'm allergic to that. Like, and that's what I mean. Is like anytime, and then I remember one time, right? This is when I broke down when I started really feeling like that ugliness and stuff like that. Is when someone did put me in like I was in a juxtaposition of being pathetic, and so like what'd you call it? And so like I just broke the fuck down. Like I just broke down because I'm like, oh my gosh, like I'm so pathetic. Holy fuck. Like I'm really out here fucking masturbating in the man. Like I was breaking down. Like I was like, I feel so ugly. Like, oh my gosh, I'm so ugly. Like I'm like, I'm really that ugly. Oh my god. I was like, I was literally going through it. Like I couldn't, like I was depressed. I was like sitting in bed. Like everything was like torture around me. Like I couldn't, like there was nothing I could do about it. It's like it's not my fault that I break out in hives whenever, and like you know what I mean. It's not my fault that I'm like a fucking like choking and dry heaving and coughing when at the stench of bullshit. You know what I mean? It's not my fault. Like I'm literally an earth angel. You know what I mean? So if there's like I don't know, maybe God just made me to be cool or something. I am a Gemini moon. There's nothing I can do about it. But even saying that is like weird to me because that's like a lot of arrogance that I wouldn't let myself be perceived in. Like, I don't want to be perceived that way. Like, so I don't think I'm that cool. I think I'm an actual fucking geek and nerd and whatever. But whatever. So, yeah, I don't know. We'll find out. Because, recently, I don't know if you know this, but there's a really cool song, and I just think it's so cool. And so I feel like I have to just accept the coolness, accept the coolness. Kids rule, huge rule, spit everywhere. So the fact that I didn't drool, that was spit. You see what I'm saying? Difference. See what I mean? I'm a dork, dude. So let's keep going. Finally, let's get into the reading now that I've stopped fucking using this useless ass thingy. So Eight of Pentacles. Oh my gosh. Eight of Pentacles. Four of Swords, Four of Wands, Three of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles, the Fool, Nine of Cups. Yeah, that's the juxtaposition I was talking about. And there they are in the past. I fucking knew it. Because that fucking Knight of Cups was not called for. They were not invited. I don't know where they came from. But it was like that, like a suggestion or whatever that fucking is. Like a false juxtaposition. I'm telling you, a false juxtaposition. You know what I'm talking about, y'all? That's really a false juxtaposition. Like I don't think anybody would really understand it. And honestly, I wouldn't want anyone to really, you know what I mean, be in that energy. But it's like it's not only about not getting what you want. It's like a lot of advice that people would give me was just something I couldn't take, right? You know, when people would be like for example, somebody's like, it's not about, you know what I mean? It's about who you're around, you know what I mean? But God really put me in alignment to see like fake people or people who would be fake in that energy so that I would be able to tell. Like they would be like, it's important about who you're around because whenever you're around for a certain person, that's how, no, 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 no. You know what I mean? But I was around people who were like millionaires. You see what I mean? Like I was around people who were really intelligent. I was around people who were inventive and you know what I mean? I was around people who were top of their game, like, you know what I mean? Still striving, still striding, still going, you know what I mean? That's just always been people that I was around. So it's like, how are you going to tell me that you're going to look at me and tell me that I'm wrong? You know what I mean? Like, just because you're fake, like, what the hell, right? Like, exactly. So, like, my ancestors, like, called judgment on them a long time ago and stuff like that. But then it's like, there would be people, like, you know what I mean? And then I'm like, okay, well, and then it would be like, okay, well, maybe I just need to put myself like, but then, I would take the advice in a way where it's like, okay, well, I know that maybe I'm not like, financially in alignment with these people or like, you know what I mean? Maybe I'm not like, I'm not finance, like, ugh, I put up boundaries upon that. Also like cited. No, so I am financially aligned with them. So like, that's what I mean. You see, that's what I'm talking about. See what I'm talking about now? is that like I am aligned with them. I am aligned with them. They are aligned with me. We're all aligned in the same pathway. We're all aligned, right? But would you call it, I wasn't in juxtaposition. I wasn't in juxtaposition. I just wasn't. Like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, I may have been around them, but it's an energetic thing. And that's what I'm talking about here. I felt like, well, maybe I would have to be around energies that I was more in juxtaposition with, right? Um, like physically, in order to capacitate why it was that my alignment wasn't working for me kind of energy. Um, you could say that, right? Basically, something like that. Um, and that was basically my logic within the whole situation. It was like, just because I was like seemingly juxtapositioned around those who I was aligned with doesn't mean that I was in juxtaposition. I was actually already unjuxtaposed. You see what I mean? It's like I could be in a board meeting filled with like people like that I am in equal standing with, right? But at the same time, it wasn't me. Like, I don't know how to explain it. At the same time, I'm somewhere else. That's not me. That's a different person. Like, that's what I mean. It's like, it was really weird. It was like my consciousness, my existence was not where my vessel was. Someone else was trying to like hover over my existence in order to take what my alignment would magnetize in false juxtaposition. That's why it's a false juxtaposition. So my actual juxtaposition would be not in my alignment. It would be elsewhere. It was like my consciousness and my body, my vessel and my consciousness were separated and in two different locations, where my vessel, my body with my soul, my being was in one position, my consciousness and my mind was in a different position. And I experienced both realms at the same time. And so that's what I mean by the double mindedness in a situation. It's like two bodies of like two different, separate, yeah, not separate, two different survival instincts had developed from that. One in which my body, right, my soul, my my being was in, and one in which my consciousness and my mind was in. So these are two different environments. And then at the same time, like, because the enemy in the situation realized, the one who had attempted to separate and do all this stuff had realized that they weren't receiving the full capacity, right? They attempted to then switch the paradigm to where my mind and consciousness was now in juxtaposition of my then former alignments. You see what I'm talking about? Of my body, because but I was already not in alignment. You see what I'm talking about? So then I would be out of alignment. And would you call it? It would be my body, my soul, and everything would be out of alignment. I almost seemed lost. You know, dark night of soul almost seemed lost in the situation. But the crazy part about all of this is that none of that was my fault nor in my control, which is what I thought the human condition was. You see why nothing was done about it? I thought that whole thing was all a part of the human condition, just like getting fucked, like getting raped. No, like just getting raped. Like I thought everybody got raped. Like you see what I mean? Like I thought that was something that we all had to go through, and like that, like, and that like, oh, your parents didn't try and sell you to human trafficking. Like they didn't see your value and worth based off of numbers on a screen that, like, you know what I mean? They like, I'm like, you know what I mean? Like my jokes would have been like something like, and which is what I had to, that's why I said I had to purify my humor, because my jokes would have been something like, um, oh, like, so how much, so you know how people would have been, so you know like how people are like, oh, how much is your first car kind of energy, like that, yeah. Like instead of like what was your first car, it's like, so how much was your first car? Would you call it? You know what I mean? It would have been, and people would like, but people would take it as being arrogant. You know what I mean? People would be like, oh, she's trying to find out like how much. But no, I what I mean by that, right? How much your first car is like, so how many people did you get sold off to, or like how many people did your parents scam, or like how many, like, like how rich is the person who was trying to buy you? Like what, like you know what I mean? Like that. Like, you know what I mean? That would have been a joke. You see how I'm not laughing now? And it's like I don't think anybody would have found it funny except for like maybe, you know what I mean, people who are still going through that. You know what I mean? Like, you see what I'm saying? It's like, um, it's a completely different, like I said, two separate. It's like a completely, my jokes would have been something like what's another joke? So, how soft was your cage? You know what I mean? For me, it was like walls and pillows and stuff like that. Like for me, it was, yeah, walls and pillows. You know what I mean? For other people, it was irons and gate. Like for me, it was also gate, right? So it was like iron and gate. For some other people, it's wood, and some other people, it's like a nest or something like hay. You know what I mean? Not everybody gets the same kind of like, you know what I mean? So like, how soft was your cage? You know what I mean? So for some people, it was like it's just conscious. Their cage is just like air. You know what I mean? It's very light. You know what I mean? So like I couldn't really, I thought that was, like I said, very rigid. It's on the spectrum of the human condition, I guess you could say, but it's very rigid. It's very like it's like one of the extremes. I guess you could say. No, I no, it's not. Actually, never mind. Yeah, it's not a human condition like I thought. Right. It's not on the spectrum of the human condition. It's actually torture. Um, the human condition spectrums from like when from like living in the hood and like not going to school and feeling like school is evil and that everyone should, form a gang and make their own military and government, versus the other end of the spectrum where it's um everyone is like what you call it, where everyone is in a rich neighborhood and everyone has to compete for a throne or something, and there's information that everybody like secretly knows, and you have to be on top of your game to be the best of everything and have the most of the latest of everything, and you know what I mean, and like, yeah, yeah, you know what I mean. You know. So um hold on one second, you guys. So basically, the what you call it, by the way, like juxtaposition again does not mean comparison and contrasting, okay? It kept on trying to act like that. By the way, it doesn't get like the Bible phrase correct. Like, remember, you guys, it's power, principles, right? Power, principles, dominions, like those are the angels, you know what I mean, of the order and whatever. And then there's powers, principalities, like those are like the darker forces, spiritual wickedness, you know what I mean, all that jazz. You gotta know the difference, okay? Because people are trying to like, it's a lot of misconstruction. A lot of people want to put, they're like, so the powers are here, okay, and then you have the principalities, and then you have the dominions like watching over them. Like, no, 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 no. The dominions watch over the principles, and then you got the power. You know what I mean? Like, and the principles, like, by the way, a lot of, I'm pretty sure Archangel Michael, because for the longest time I thought Archangel Mike, because the archangels are over right the dominions as well, but yeah, exactly. Because you have the angels, because then because people go angels, archangels, but the archangels are principles, are they not? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The archangels are supposed to be principles, right? And then the dominions, but the dominions are like the lords, right? So like Jesus Christ, right? Like that's what I mean. You see what I'm talking about now? Yeah, so like it's a whole like paradigm. And like obviously lords become kings, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. And then Jesus is king, you see what I mean? King of the heavens, you know what I mean? But there's other realms. You know what I mean? I just want to make that clear. Like, yeah, there's also different realms in heaven. There's heavenly realms, you know what I mean? There's mid heavenly realm, there's middle earth realms, you see what I mean? There's different realms. Like I don't know why people act like they just don't know, I guess. But anyways, um yeah. So once again, juxtaposition isn't comparing and contrasting because like tell me where when you put, let's say like this, I'll give you guys two something. I'll give you this or this, there's this, and there's this ticket I got, right? What is this ticket for? I don't remember, but it was in it was at 5:53 p.m., right? I don't remember what this was for. But let's say it's like a ticket, right? I got this ticket and then I got this right here. This is a juxtaposition. You see, they're not necessarily side by side, but they're framed in a way. See, like that's like an aesthetic juxtaposition. You see what I mean? That's like, you know what I mean? It's a juxtaposition. Am I comparing and contrasting the two? Well, now if I do, I'm like, oh, right, this actually looks really aesthetic because this is blue and this is blue. But do you see how it's in alignment? Do you see what I'm talking about? That would be the alignment. The alignment brings the juxtaposition together. It brings the understanding of the it brings the aesthetic, it makes the aesthetic make sense. It makes it make sense. You see what I'm saying? Words are just a juxtaposition of different symbols, right? That's all it is. So a promise is just a juxtaposition of different declarations, right? Trials, tribulations. It's about the juxtaposition of not only like trials, but also gifts and vows. There it is, right? So it's a juxtaposition. A promise is just a juxtaposition of vows. That's what I mean. And so it's like, exactly. So it has nothing to do with comparing or contrasting. You see what I'm talking about? But I don't know why it was trying to cause so much confusion for. But it's doing that. And I can't imagine how many people, because like someone that was like, okay, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. One of my bosses, right? One of the owners of the companies I'm working under right now, right? Has been using ChatGPT. I can't imagine the kind of nonsense ChatGPT may be trying to, I mean, feed the collective. Like, I don't know, right? So now there's a whole separate fucking war, like, and it's just, yeah. So let's just keep going. Yeah, Ace of Pentacles, Six of Swords. There it is. Like the angels now see what I'm talking about. Like the angels see and understand what I'm talking about. Like they get it. Like I feel like, okay, so like I feel like there's also things that we would have to explain to the angels about our experiences, because as much as, you know what I mean, as much as they are angels and they are perfect beings, they are also certain limits when it comes to the human condition that they can't experience, for one because they're not human, and also for two because they rely on God just as much as we do. You see what I'm talking about? So it's like when we share our experiences with the angels, it's like it brings us to a stronger alignment. It enforces our alignment. You see what I'm talking about now? As spiritual beings, as heavenly beings, as divine beings, and as earth angels as well. So earth angels, you know what I'm talking about? So it's like earth angels are one of the only beings that experience both the human condition and the angelic condition, which is of perfection, which is actually quite like we experience both imperfection and perfection at the same time. So a lot of people think that these types of experiences exist as a condition in itself, but no, they are actually just experiences. Like they are just experiences. They're just, and yes, experiences exist within us for us to exist within it as well. So that's why we say that we experience it, because it experiences us just as much as we experience it. That's another thing. So yeah, that's also called reality empathy, like empathetic reality, like empatheticism, reality empatheticism, you could say, is being empathetic towards the reality that you exist in, or your own existence. Basically, it's like a whole difference, like psychological like awakening. I don't know how to explain it. Other than that, other than the psychological awakening, other than the psyche evolution, yeah, it's a whole different psyche evolution. And if you haven't gone through it, I don't know what to tell you. But the angels basically are seeing this, the importance of juxtaposition when it comes to what you call it, humanity or human beings. And now it's becoming like clear who the like more and more clear who and what the enemy really is, obviously, because if there were individuals, or if there were entities, or there were beings that were lying about what was the human condition, right, and what wasn't, then it would have been more difficult to interpret the truth about the human condition and what the human condition really is. And as much as I mean, as much as, and this is another thing, as much as Archangel Michael is, and this is where I found out, like, okay, this is probably where there's a weakness, because as much as Archangel Michael is the angel of like holding the Excalibur, the truth, and knowing all the truth and all truth, right? He's still an angel. He's still an earth angel. I mean, sorry, earth angel. He's still an archangel. He's still an angel. You know what I mean? He's an angelic force, right? He still has to rely heavily on God when it comes to the human condition and the understanding of it, right? So this is where, obviously the enemy must have really taken advantage of, because this is something that the angels like would really require, like their own juxtaposition to be juxtaposed in alignment. Like so the angels are being placed. What I'm seeing, the truth is here. What I'm seeing is that the angels are being positioned, juxtapositioned in a way of the alignment that they had been in for a while now. They aren't unjuxtaposed, so they are in juxtaposition, but because they're imperfection, so that wouldn't be a problem. But they're bringing more human beings into their proper juxtaposition, because it seems like the enemy had ever unjuxtaposed them, so returning juxtaposition. So there's a returning juxtaposition occurring. Return to juxtaposition. Yeah, there's a return to juxtaposition occurring. Yeah. Yep, there it is. See, alignment, right? There's alignment. Yeah, there's alignment, and then there's, what is that? Do you see what I'm talking about? And there it is. And the angels, the angelic forces are literally noticing, and they're literally, look, they're noticing. Because I wouldn't have received this message if that thing didn't exist, right? Exactly. So they've been sighted now. That entity has been sighted. Whoever that is, that whatever that is, that darkness, whatever that is, has been sighted. Yeah, exactly. Because yep, they're trying to take a leap. Like it's too much. They've been caught. They've been sighted. Look, they've been caught. My ancestors done caught them. Yeah, it's a tower. It's a huge tower. Like, look, Lord is seeing them now. They're like exposed. They're wide open. Wide open. Yeah, my intuition. Yeah, everything. Everything. Yeah. So the Lord is telling me it's my intuition that I saw them through. Okay, so that makes so much sense now. So that's my intuition. Okay. So they were trying to like they were trying to consume, or yeah, they were trying to like, I don't know how to explain this. They were trying to how do I explain this? I don't know what kind of dark shit that they were doing, but they were trying to impede. There it is. They were trying to impede on my intuition, and they were trying to make it seem like they were doing that I was doing some sort of dark shit. There you go. They were trying to impede on my intuition. They got caught. They were literally trying to impede on my intuition. So here, let me explain it this way. My intuition is something that's like my aura, right? It exists all around me like a radar. It also exists within me because it comes from within me. But I am a master manifester, so it's around me like a giant bubble. So anything that is in my vicinity or tries to attempt to attack or attach to my um corporeal body or attach to my soul or what is within my vessel or the truth in my alignment or anything like that, I will literally see hitting the radars of my existence. So I will literally say it's like when you if you see somebody's aura, right? It would be like, yeah, basically like that. So I can see them trying to interact with my intuition. Let's say it's like my intuition is like a is like the there's like a let's say my intuition is like a hologram that's around me, that surrounds me. I can see them trying to interact with that hologram. I can see them, but they don't realize, like they don't understand how. But like, and then they're like, maybe they also assume that that's how my intuition works. But the reality of the situation is, like I said, my intuition exists within me and it exists around me like a bubble and expands. So my intuition expands. So for example, like I have my in like my proximity intuition, right? And then like, but these are all intuitive mastery. So like I have my proximity intuitive mastery, and then I have my exterior what you call it, the proximity intuitive mastery, and then I have my planetary intuitive mastery, and then I have my heavenly intuitive, and then I have my what you call it shadow and light, and then I have, it's like a whole lot of different aspects, right? It's a lot. I'm a jack of all trades. So basically, it's like when I tell you I'm a jack of all trades, I'm a jack of all trades. Okay, so um, that's what I'm trying to say here. It's like they don't understand that like this is my temple and I got what do you call it? I've got um heat sensors and cameras around the gates of the compound, of the walkways, of the drive-through, of the driveways, of the parkways, of the external threshold, of the mid threshold, of the internal threshold, of the temple, like you know what I mean, of the temple. Like you're not even, they're not even close to me, but they're so far away from me and they still don't understand. You see what I'm talking about? That I still got eyes over there. Like, you know what I mean? They still don't get it. Like, and that's what I'm saying. It's like that. So whenever I say sighted, that's they've been sighted. I'm telling you, they've been sighted. So now the ancestors, the angels, and everyone is finally seeing them. And what they were trying to do, they were trying to break in to my intuition, into my intuitive like vibes. Yeah, like they were trying to do the most. Yeah, exactly. They've been caught. They've been caught. They were trying to play innocent. Yeah, they were trying to play innocent. It's like, I don't know, they were trying to play innocent, trying to do the most, trying to chat, like act like they were trying, like doing everything. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. when when someone feels like they can set boundaries on others but not follow boundaries, their own boundaries, that's a problem. You know, someone can be like, well, I don't like it when somebody breaks through my walls, but I'm gonna do it anyway, right? No. I don't know if they would. They don't look like the person that would, so I'm gonna do it because they should learn. No, no. You don't teach somebody else a lesson that you think that you've learned because you think that they don't know a lesson because you think that they don't know because you know. That's not how it works. Okay? That's not innocence. Like that's not how it works. Yeah, so yeah, that was like a warning from them. Like, yeah, that's a warning to y'all too. Like they didn't have a plan and to begin with. And so yeah. So the angels are like putting things that's like one of the enemy energies, right? Yeah. Because they were trying to cause there to be a false juxtaposition, right? They were trying to separate my mind, body, and soul. They were trying to separate, they were trying to break me apart. They were trying to destroy my alignment. They were doing everything to act as if that they were in my alignment, in my position over me. That's what it is. They were trying to act, that's what I was trying to say. They were trying to hover over me. You see what I mean? As if that they were me, but that wasn't me. It wasn't me. It was like they were trying to be like my veil, but I didn't ask. Like I didn't like they're not my veil. Like that's just the truth. You see what I'm saying? It's like it's I don't know how else to put this, oh Lord, because I don't think there's a kind of example that would interpret that kind of saying other than like yeah, other than this guy, my Lyft driver that recently said that that's an animal. It's someone trying to force themselves to be my hide. You see what I'm saying? Like they want me to wear them like a living hide. And then they want to absorb all my blessings as opposed to me. That's how crazy it is. Because it literally doesn't make sense. Like a living hide. You see what I'm saying? Like a living hide, like a living hide, bruh. Like this is not making any sense. It's not like a parrot porched or like a ferret or what'd you call it? You know what I mean? Or a cat, like you know what I mean? Because I love ferrets. Because I want to always put a ferret right here. You know what I mean? Or like you know what I mean? Or I forget what I was gonna say a possum, but that's not what I was trying to say. But like that, like or like a you know what I mean? Like a bird or like a perch. You know what I mean? Or something like over. Like none of that. They want to be like you know the wolf that like you put their teeth or the tiger or lion and you put their teeth and they're like that and then the head because that's exactly how I saw it and then it's like the ears and then like yeah and then the rest of their body and their paws, you know what I mean, and it's like grapple. It's like that emperor energy. Hold up, because it's giving me emperor energy. Yeah, because that's like how they show like the emperor in the card, right? Yeah, no, that wait, it's not even like no, it is. Look at it. Look at it. That's what I. Oh my god. You see how they don't come across as the emperor? Somebody was playing with the cards. Like, you see what I did? You see how I know that somebody was literally clinging on to the surface level of something? Like they're clinging on to the image of something rather than understanding the concept behind it. You see what I'm talking about? Like they don't know anything about being an emperor, but they know that in the Monday tarot card deck that Amina uses, right? The emperor has a bear claw thing there, and that's what they want to be. They want to be the emperor, so they want Amina to believe that as if that they ever had authority. You know what I mean? So that they're going around doing some craziness. Like that's what I'm saying. Like, and the whole time I'm like, a hide, a bear claw, like you know, the whole time I'm like, oh what? Like you know what I mean? I'm like literally lost. You see why? You see what was causing the separation? But the crazy part about it is like they were in alignment for what they wanted, right? So they got to be in juxtaposition. That was the human condition. That's how I know it's human. But then I felt alienated and I felt like I wasn't human and I felt like I wasn't doing things correctly and I felt like the human condition was something else. because they were doing that to me. I was like it was like I was being like I was almost like a victim. I'm a survivor now, but like I was almost a victim of something. You know what I mean? And it really put me in this like estrangement where like it's really hard to associate with people because people just like they say things and it's so odd to me, like the things that they say sometimes, like, and sometimes people will try and take advantage of people by the things that they say to sound like everyone else in a situation, not realizing how weirder it is, how much weirder it is, and then it causes people not to, not to get like prepared for something new also. So for example now, um, like someone would tell me, excuse me, I guess not. So I'm trying to think of something that somebody like people would say to me that would come across kind of off or weird to say. Um, Something around the lines of like, I don't know. I can't come up with anything right now. I'm not seeing anything. The only thing I'm coming up with was what was the old thing already, where someone is like, um, where someone is like, would you call it? I don't even remember what they were saying anymore, to be honest. So, like, honestly, but yeah, it's just like like some things that people would say that would just come across really odd, but they're actually like really normal for everybody else because it's like I don't know. It, it's really frustrating me. It's one of those things that really frustrates me because like I don't know. People can come up with these things like on the spot and stuff. Like maybe that's an example. Is like people can come up with these things and like for example, yeah, like that. People can come up with examples on the spot, right? It's so hard for me to come up with examples on the spot because to me it's like there's no like I can't, you see what I'm saying? I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to do that. I don't know what that is. Like you like coming up. I can say like for example, and then I start like fucking like I'm fucking trying to figure it out. I'm like, why did I say that? Why did I set myself up like that? I'm like, okay, well now that you said it, you gotta figure it out, right? Okay, so like what are we gonna say? Like a metaphor? Like a simile? Like we're gonna say something that happened in the past. Maybe it's gonna be like a poem or like what, like, you know what I mean? Like I'm trying to figure it out, but like then I've lost the point at that point, you know what I mean? So it's like, but yeah. So people come up with like examples on the spot. Like I can't do that. I don't know what that is. Like I don't know. Like I guess to me, the closest thing to that I've experienced personally is people blaming me, like as an example, or to try to set an example, right? Like so, but that's not really what that means, right? It's not like when you have an example of something, I know, and this is where it is. I know the feeling of being blamed. I know I know what blame feels like. I know how blame. I know blame like it's me. Like I know blame like that's my fucking twin. You know what I mean? So when people are being fake and they like are trying to set an example, they say that they're setting an example, but they're really blaming. I can tell. I can see. I can tell that immediately. I'm like, aha! I know that, right? And you're just trying to blame someone. I can like call that out really quickly, right? Not you, Holy Spirit, but like, but what'd you call it? If I'm like, if if I'm like, what'd you call it? What you call it, but if someone is being sincere and is saying some sort of example, right? Um, or setting an example or saying that they for example, like as a reference. Okay, so thank you, Holy Spirit. So basically it's referencing. So for me, like if I had to reference something, I would need like a picture to reference it, but I know that people who are fake when referencing, like they also need a picture. You see what I'm talking about? So that's how I know, because they would like blame me for stuff, but like that's not fair. Like, you see what I'm saying? Because I actually need to show them a picture. You see juxtaposition. You see what I'm talking about now? So then it would be like I wouldn't be allowed to show a picture as a reference. And then people would be like, well, just explain the reference, just explain the example. And I'm sitting there like, And then the person who's in the false juxtaposition like the picture and then can't explain the reference through the picture, through the image of the, and then I look fake. And because they've made me seem as if that I don't know what I'm talking about. You see what I'm saying? They literally try to make me feel like, not made me, God makes me, God made me, but they try to make other people believe that I am, what you call it, what they're trying to make me believe that I am. It's like they're playing like they're trying to two-face the, see what it be, that's the player energy. They're trying to play two people. You see the difference now? So it's not if I say player, but that's not what I mean. But I mean like cheating. They're trying to cheat two people at the same time. Like literally. Which is like what they're trying to do when they mirror like killing two birds with one stone energy. It's like using one reference. You see what I mean now? Using one reference to abuse two energies. You see what I'm saying now? Whereas like the point of killing two birds with one stone is to knock down two problems with one solution, right? But what they're doing is is like forcing there to be one problem and trying to destroy two solution oriented individuals. You see what I'm saying? Trying to use a problem to distract solution oriented individuals. So you see how long winded that was? That's why it's so frustrating to me sometimes, because it's like if if I hadn't if I if I hadn't had the Holy Spirit to explain to me, if I hadn't built up a relationship with the Holy Spirit that allowed me to communicate like this with the Holy Spirit, then I wouldn't have been able to express this aspect, and I would have just been frustrated. And I would have just had to endure frustration. But now I am in juxtaposition to endure my expression rather than frustration, which allows me to be in my alignment. Yeah, allowance, right? So that allows me to be in alignment with my is that mana? So yeah, strength here. You see what I'm saying? And that's them, you see? And they're trying to like they are trying to take my strength away. They're trying to literally, they're trying to like I don't know how to explain it. The Seven of Swords energy is like they're trying to abuse the nature of the, how do I explain this? It's like abusive nature. Like, I don't know how to explain it. Oh my gosh. Because it's not something that can be explained. Okay? It's something that can be experienced, and that's it. It can only be experienced. It can't be, it can't be expressed directly. It has to be expressed by vicariousness. It has to be expressed vicariously. See? And the only way to express it vicariously is once it's experienced. But they're trying to abuse the experience as if that's the expression of the vicarity of its nature. And that's the problem. Like for example, I just had a lollipop. Having like I could like, what's the experience? How do you explain the experience of eating a creamsicle fucking lollipop? What's the experience? You're gonna have to break it down, right? You're licking the lollipop, your taste buds, your serotonin, your the time that you're using while you're licking it. You know what I mean? That while it's like a lot. It's a lot of different. It's a juxtaposition of different alignments, right? And it's a juxtaposition of experiences. You see, how is it compared and contrasted? There's no comparison and contrastion. It's a juxtaposition of experiences that allow for an alignment, right? And that not allow for a specific, like another experience, an underlying experience. You see, vicariously, you see what I mean? It's a vicarious action. It's a juxtaposition of 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 vicarious experiences of a higher alignment. You see what I mean? So the only way to receive that higher alignment, right? That higher experience is to be, sorry, it's to experience that experience through that higher alignment is to be in juxtaposition, right? So I would only really feel the bliss of that candy if I got the fucking motherfucking candy in my motherfucking mouth. You know what I mean? I can't feel the bliss of the fucking candy just thinking about it or just like you know what I mean, right? Of course it could seem like I was experiencing that. It could even feel like maybe it was occurring, but that's not the real experience. That's not the full potential of the experience. I have to actually there's a contingency to that experience. You see what I'm talking about? That's that human condition I'm talking about. You see what I'm saying now? There's something I have to feel. So I have to. You see what I'm talking about now? And God knows that. God knows that. So whenever someone really wants to be with God, or they really want to be with the Holy Spirit, or they are put first in alignment and then in juxtaposition. Whereas for me, it was like no matter what I did, no matter how much I wanted, no matter how in alignment I was just not getting the higher experience. I was just not getting that. I was just not performing through that experience. I was just not receiving. I was not receiving. And it wasn't because I wasn't being given. It was like giving something to a ghost. It was like literally like you're giving something to a ghost. It can't necessarily experience it that same way, but then that's not true because they can, because they're a ghost, right? But that's just, you know what I mean? That's but we wouldn't be able to if you give us like a fucking holographic burger. We can't fucking eat a holographic fucking burger and then be like, oh yeah, I'm not gonna die tomorrow from starvation, right? You can't. That's not how it works, right? But that's what was being done to me, like over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, to the point where I really thought that that was the human condition. I thought that we just don't receive what it is that we want. We just don't receive it no matter what we do, like no matter how hard we work, no matter what, like that was just it. Like I just thought, like, you know what I mean? I would have to just suffer. Like that was it. Like I don't know how to explain it to you guys, but that's the truth. People here don't experience that. People here, they think of a burger, you know what I mean? They save up fucking funds or and then they go get themselves a motherfucking burger. This is the first time in my life where this is like the first time in my life where I can actually think of something, feel that I want it, save up for it, and actually get it. Like that's shocking. I could save up for something, right? For years. I could have it right there, and then I lose it because I wasn't able to get it. Like for the longest time, like I wasn't able to do, like sometimes I'll have something right there, right in front of me, and I wouldn't be allowed to grab it. Like I just wouldn't be allowed to have it. Like the first time it happened to me was when I was 5. Like I was literally like I was killed because I wanted water. Like I was just not allowed. Like I was just not allowed. And I thought that that was just the human condition. Like I thought that's how we were supposed. I thought that's how it was. Like I thought that there were consequences for what you wanted. Like, and yes, there are consequences for what you want, but that's not how you teach it. Like people get into juxtaposition to learn these lessons, and I didn't have that fucking opportunity. So there were things that I missed out on, lessons I missed out on that I just simply did not understand. I didn't get it. I don't know why. So people would be like, tell me stuff like, for example, somebody, this is just really bothering me, and I'm gonna mention this now, like, it's really bothering me, it's really coming up to me now, like, it's really bothering me, like, it really fucking is bothering me. Yeah, because now there's death in the situation, because it's really fucking bothering me. Yeah, exactly. Because the situation is like, yeah, exactly, because that's their situation right there. I knew it. That's them right there. And it's like, people would be like, oh, I was so and so and so and so in this way, and you can have that opportunity for that. And I'd be so lost. I'd be like, what does that have to do with me? That's your life. Like, why are you trying to, like, you know what I mean? You're trying to tell me what are you trying to tell me? Because it sounds like you're complaining, to be honest. Like, that's my energy. Like, that's what I would be like. I wouldn't sit there and be like, oh my gosh, you know what I mean? For a moment I'll be like, wow, congratulations, like, you really did that, you put an effort, and it, you know what I mean, there it is, like, you put an effort and you got results, good for you, right? Like, I would be glad. Like, for the longest time, that was it, for the longest time, like. And so people they were surprised, because it was like, why is it that I never got results? And then they would always assume that I wasn't putting in the right effort, or I was putting effort in the wrong places, or they would literally doubt me at every turn before they thought maybe, just maybe, my results were being stolen from me. Like, maybe, just maybe, I got fucking Tesla'd, right? Maybe, just maybe, it's really hard for me to just do whatever it is that I wanted to do, make whatever it is that I wanted to make, get whatever it is that I wanted to get, because somebody would literally try and take that away from me, even if it's my life's work, right? So, like, people still think that Tesla got justice for what he went through, right? So, for example, Nikolai Tesla, right? He made, like, the coils, he made like the electric circuit thing. He just did a lot, right? He did a lot, right? And then Thomas Edison, like, stole his concepts and ideas and whatever, right? We know that. But what you call it? But it was the fact that he was then fucking murdered, left for dead, drunk, alone on the street. You see what I'm talking about? Like, there's a pattern. Drunk, alone, on the street, dead. And he was one of our greatest minds. I mean, that was like our Albert Einstein for electricity. He was the one that held memories of old Tartaria, of the civilization that existed while there was still the very basics of, it wasn't even, it wasn't Renaissance, it was like the age of innovation. And he was like the one of the last living giants, basically. And they tried to justify throwing him out on the street, fucking drunk, dead. That's how he gets to that's his legacy. No kids, no nothing. No one to carry on his bloodline, no nothing. And that's what you guys think is fair? And that's what you guys think I deserve? So what the fuck really happened there, right? What the fuck really happened? The same thing that was happening to me for the longest time. And the same thing that was probably happening to a lot of people. You get placed in alignment, God puts you in alignment, and then all of a sudden there's war over your juxtaposition because of alignment, because of the alignment, or because that some other people want to be in that juxtaposition, or that, you know what I mean? It's like I did this, right? I did this. It's like somebody feels as if it's not fair that they are not this sheet of paper, that they are not this right here, that they are not this ticket right here. They feel like it is them that has to be the ticket. Mind you, this is a juxtaposition. It takes multiple elements to manifest this one juxtaposition. Without these multiple elements, it would not be the same juxtaposition. It would be a completely different juxtaposition. Do you understand me? It would be a completely fucking different juxtaposition. It wouldn't be the same fucking thing. So if I remove this and I take this and I do this, it's not the same fucking thing. So what I'm trying to explain here is that God is an authority and juxtaposition is being given to God, to the Most High. So all of what juxtaposition is and what it could be and everything for all the realms, for all of eternity, for all creatures that live in existence belongs to the Most High God. Do you understand? It all is with God. No angel, no being, nothing is in control of this. Not human, no one is in control of it but the Most High God. That's it. Protocol. Yeah, 2 swords in reverse when it comes to them. Yeah, enlightenment. Because they didn't see that I didn't give a fuck. I don't care. They didn't see where I didn't care at or something. I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, that I didn't care, that I stopped caring for a very long time now. That what'd you call it? Yeah, that I've been with God since I was a child, literally. Like I've been with God, I've been spiritual since I was a child. Yeah, exactly. I've been there. I've already been there. Yeah, exactly. That when I was that the first time I ever was in juxtaposition, I was literally killed. You see what I mean? Death, betrayal. I was literally killed. Yeah, see? Then there's the third party. Or should I say, not third party, but here you guys go. Yeah, gross seductor wannabe, someone who can't uphold being a gross seductor, can't uphold being a stalker, bait line, right? False server. Yeah, superiority hungry. Yeah, see? Superiority hungry, loss hungry in reverse, curse hungry in reverse. They can't uphold the losses and the curses that they're trying to create, manifest through, and all that jazz. Yeah. Lazy cunt in reverse. They can't uphold how much of a lazy cunt they really are. Emperor in reverse. You see what I'm saying? Trying solution. They can't uphold being a try hard false antidote. See, that's what they would use for a false antidote. They would make themselves appear as an emperor in reverse. They were always trying to come across as an emperor in reverse, and that was what they were trying to mix him as if was the solution. See, every time something would happen, they're like, as emperor in reverse, emperor in reverse. See what I'm saying? Every time they would try and do it. See, there they are. Twin flame obsessed poser in reverse, ghost rider wannabe. Yeah, they can't control it anymore. They can't control it anymore. Destiny thwarter. You see what I'm saying? High priestess wannabe in reverse. They can't uphold trying to come across as whatever it is that they would assume people would believe is a emperor in reverse. Whatever anyone would have a contingency on. Yeah, they can't. So they, yeah, pride hungry. See? They don't have their own contingencies. Yeah, they don't have their own contingencies. That's why I was like, is this what happens when I'm 25? They don't have their own contingencies. They're not in touch with anything or anyone or anything like that. They're not in touch with their own reality. They're out of touch with reality. Their reality is incontingent to reality, to anything. They're not grounded. Yeah, the reality is incontingent to anything. And so they act hyper codependent and hyper reliant on everybody else's contingencies. They try to distort them. They try to anything that anyone is in touch with, anything that keeps some that allows someone's reality to make sense, or anything that is real or anything like that, right? They literally try and distort it, destroy it. They try to act like it's them. They try to take over. It's really fucked up, like a virus. Like they I don't know what it is that, like, it's like an entity, a person, whatever the fuck they are, like a human. Like I said, it's like when you look at the condition that they have as a human, you only see, like, what you call it, their human condition is that they're pride hungry. You see what I mean? They're trying to take an experience as if it were their own, so that they can act as if that they have that experience for themselves. But the reality is that they're not experiencing it at all. They don't have the wisdom of that experience. It's like if here, it's like if I like it's like if I put the Illuminati symbol up and I did this, like, whatever the Illuminati, let's say this is the Illuminati symbol, right? Like, right? And somebody does that. Now they think, oh, everybody's gonna think I'm part of the Illuminati. Oh, the Illuminati's gonna. That's what I mean. That's what I mean. So it's like if I'm like, this is, if I'm like secretly, if I'm like, oh, this is what it means to be a part of the da 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 club. Okay, so if you do this, right, you're a part of the club, and somebody doesn't know what that is, doesn't know what club it is, doesn't understand anything about it. Someone tells them, by the way, when you get to that door, just do this. Okay, and that person's like, all right, and then they get there and they go, and they expect everyone to go, wow, oh my god, wow, like, yeah, let's get this person, someone get this motherfucker a drink. You know what I mean? Like, that's what they think is about to happen, for real. Like, and this is like from and like I said, they're hyper reliant. They're like extremely, like, they don't have contingencies of their own. So like, if that doesn't work, right, if this doesn't work, they'll do, you know what I mean? To be like, no, 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 you guys, I'm part of the other one. I'm part of the, like, you know what I mean? Like, no, no. Yeah, exactly. Stand close and reverse. No, we're not doing this. Like, this is why. Remember when I told you guys that all this shit has to break down, and you know what I mean? This is why, because you see what I'm saying? Like, can't do shit. That's the human condition. You see? That's the human condition. Yeah. See, Emperor wannabe. There you go. See what I'm saying now? It's the human condition. It's like, it's that, like, can't have shit. Like, oh, it's not, this is something else. You know what I mean? It's that's the energy. That's the human condition. Yeah. See, irrelevant. I can't make you. I can't make you. I can't make it up. I can't make you up. Right? I can't make it up. Right? Ghost writer wannabe. See what I'm saying? It's like, here, it's easy. So you know that Cup song? Yeah, or sorry. Right, something like that, right? I need the cup to do it. I got my ticket for the runway. You know what I mean? It's like, by the way, when you get there, do this. Right? They don't know Pitch Perfect. They don't know the actors, actresses. They haven't seen shit like that. They don't even know what a pitch is, right? They don't know the song. They don't know that there's a cup that's there. You know what I mean? They don't know how it moves, but they want people to believe, like it's like an obvious cop at a drug party. Like, they haven't even taken off their fit yet, right? It's like a Halloween party. And it's like filled with drugs, right? And so there's a cop there wearing a full cop get up, and they're like, no, I promise you guys, they're not even gonna think that I'm a real cop. You guys, you're just gonna think that I'm like wearing a costume, I promise. And they come in just to get fucked up, for real. I'm telling you, like, that's really what it is. Yeah. Yeah, so now there's like extra protection on contingencies, right? They're being given to God because like the juxtaposition is important, obviously, right? To receive, right? To attend, right? To nurture, to receive, to attend. It's also something that I've been making up a point for a very long time, right? Juxtaposition is something of luck. Is like what makes things seem lucky or what how things are lucky, right? But luck is also just a sign of well preparation, right? Good preparation gives you good luck, right? Basically. So it's like, for example, remember when I said I could be in alignment for something, I could even have the resources for it, but I wouldn't be in juxtaposition because I would be forced it to unjuxtaposed frequencies or unjuxtaposed energies, or you see. And now that's really where the insecurity is coming from. So maybe that's what God was trying to say to me. Yeah, that's what the Holy Spirit was letting me know about, was that like the insecurity wasn't coming from me, it was coming from someone else for sure. It was like somebody else, like they hit me, they punched me, they didn't want me to be in juxtaposition even though I was in juxtaposition. You know what I mean? So now I received like, so now I had to, you know what I mean, so I had to start all over again, so that I could get into juxtaposition again, right? After, like, it's like starting your car. Like, starting, I don't have a car, but imagine if you're starting your car and it's like a really old car. So you start and it goes, right? I was going through the, that's how I was going through it, like that, like really slow. So I'm like, that, that, like I'm going really slowly trying to start up, right? And then as soon as I go finally, I'm like, finally someone just bah, and then it goes down again. And so now I'm back to again, and I'm like, you know what I mean? I'm trying to start the engine again, and it's like the little wumps of the engine is just I don't know what kind of engine. Wait a minute. I need to update my engine. Why did I think of that? I literally haven't thought of that ever. This is the first time I'm ever thinking of that. What? I need to update my engine. That makes so much sense. I need to update my engine. What is my engine? What is my engine? Sorry. What is my engine? Because you know how they say the mind, the brain is the computer. But the computer runs on an engine, has a CPU and everything, right? Is the engine the heart? The heart is the generator, right? You see? The heart is the generator. Is the soul the engine? See, that's what I'm saying. The soul isn't the engine either. Because the soul is the driver energy. Yeah, it's like the steering wheel, and technically. We'll just keep it at that for now, right? We'll give it to God. God. Yeah. So but then so was the is the sacral the engine? I think that might be it. The sacral might be the engine. Because obviously the root is like, you know what I mean? The root is like the actual like vessel, like everything like that, like the doors and the car and the wheels and everything, right? Right? Just, you know what I mean? Or is the crown the engine? No. The crown is like, yeah, no, the crown is like the port, I guess you could say. It's like it's a long story. Okay. We'll just stick to what we know for now. But what's the engine, Lord? What's the engine? Wait, what's the engine? I need to look into what a car is made out of again. But what's the engine? Because you know what? Fuck the car. I know I understand it on the computer like a. Oh, what's the engine? Is it actually my sacral? You know what? Let's get the answer easier. Hold on, you guys. Because I need to go get some juice or something. Third eye chakra. Right. That why did I not remember that? I'm like it's the intuition. Is it the intuition? Is the intuition the engine? What is the engine, Holy Spirit? The engine. Because the engineer, what do? They are master of the engine, right? People forget that the engineer isn't the creator of the engine, but they're the ones that are, they know of the engine, they know how to use the engine, but they don't make the engine, right? That's the truth, right? So they engineer the program for the engine. You see what I'm saying now? It's more like adaptation, perception, coherence, fertility, magic. Yeah, fertility, magic, Gaia, compassion, perception, coherence, fertility, Gaia, compassion, sacral chakra. See? Yeah, dynamic. I'm telling you. That's the engine. Cosmic flower. Yup. Activates remembrance of a place we call home, the core of what we put. Yep, it seems like it. Manifest success. That's the engine. Sacral chakra. Yeah, and then there's the solar plexus right after. Emergence. Exactly. Then the tantric journey. Yep, coming through. Delight. There's the juxtaposition. Finally, the correct juxtaposition. And then divine masculine. Divine feminine. There we go. See what I'm saying? Merkaba. And there it is. Alignment. Like I thought. See? The frequency of the Merkaba supports our ability to use our consciousness to traverse into layers of reality and dimensions. You see what I mean? I realized that I could move my consciousness because after the separation and stuff like that for so long, I was like, what would you call it? I was like so determined to be in the right juxtaposition to express with my alignments, express with alignment, right? That I balanced it appropriately. Yeah, realization, exactly. Conception. Yeah, so you see what I'm saying? You got the engine, right? You enter alignment. Let me do it like this. I'll show you guys the order. So perception, what you see, what you experience, right? Supports our natural curiosity. You see what I'm saying? Nature, natural curiosity. It's like they want me to explain the essence of curiosity with words. You see what I'm saying? That entity or whatever wants me to explain the essence of curiosity into words. Like, you see what I'm saying? And I'm just going to say this one time. And I just want to do this one time just so that I never have to do this again, okay? Because this is exactly what I was avoiding. And it's like, it seems like it seems like they're trying to build on the fact that I've been avoiding it, right? So they built these empires on the fact that I've been avoiding it. So now let's destroy the motherfucking empires, right? They want me to be like, oh, curiosity is when you think of something and then you go there and then you think about it and then you act on it and then you look into it because you think you like it. You think you like something and then you go for it and then you try to research it. You research something and you would no. I've had enough of that. Okay? I've had enough of that. Some natural curiosity is something inexplainable. Is that inexplainable, inexplicit experience where you feel drawn. You feel drawn. You are juxtaposed. It's your natural juxtaposition of joy. You see what I'm saying? Natural. It's not something that you can explain. You see what I'm saying? Moving us beyond our comfort zone to find the edges of what we perceive as real, to take a good, hard, deep look at it. For example, this energy right here. Moving beyond our comfort zone to find the edges of what we perceive as real and taking good, hard, take a good, hard, deep look at it. For me, it was like, imagine being in a position where, like, literally, like, you can't leave the place that you're in. You can't get out. You're in a cage, in a cage, however it looks like. And I don't want you guys to have to imagine this, but if this is what it takes for you guys to actually understand, right? Because I'm usually like not going to do this, but I have to. Now I'm going to now. So it's like you're in a cage where there's nothing you can do about it. There's nowhere you can run to. There's nowhere you can hide. Your time is ticking and you're obviously dying. And you're going through all these experiences that are inexplainable. And the one thing that's supposed to help you survive, is beyond your reach, but just right outside beyond your reach. There's only a couple of things that you can do about it. Inevitably, you die. Nothing was eventually in your control. Nothing you could have done in the situation could have made any difference. The game was always going to be over. You were really trapped, and the predator was always going to destroy you. The end. So how am I supposed to see what is real, perceive, take a good, hard, long look at it, and get out of my comfort zone? What is that? What is that? What is a comfort zone? What is taking a good hard leap, like a leap again, taking a good hard look at something and really perceive? What is that? You can't do that. That's not something that exists in that realm. When you're put in a position where there is nothing you can fucking do, nothing you can fucking do, and your death is fucking inevitable and you die, there is no looking beyond perception, no action. There's nothing that can be fucking done. That is true hopelessness. That is real death. And that's what I went through. And I went through it all by myself. And it was God who put his hand to me. It was Jesus who saved me. It was God. It was the Holy Spirit who brought me back. And I had to really, that's when I could take a good look at it. Why, for the longest time, why I had been brought back to this fucking forsaken ass fucking place. And why I had to still ask for forgiveness, even though I never did anything wrong, even though my innocence had been proven from the get-go. Till today, God still tells me that I'm innocent. No matter what happens, no matter what I do, he still tells me I'm innocent. And I still look at it like I still have to ask for forgiveness, though. So yeah, I don't understand. I don't get it. I don't. So whenever I tell you guys to take the opportunity to do it, since you can't do it, like the fuck? I think it would be a curse to not have that. And if you're free and you're not entrapped in a cage and you can do what you can and you can work hard and you can love your parents and you can do your job with grace and do it happily and you can move with joy and enjoy the world around you and experience things and live in flux of that human condition, then fucking do it. There are real people out here, human beings, who in that human condition attempt to destroy other people's human condition. Do you get it now? There are real people in this world, there are real individuals in this world who truly try to destroy the humanity in others, even though they themselves are still in human condition. And those had always been the most dangerous predators. So, from that perception, like I said, I'll tell you the order. You're coherent, right? The frequency of coherence support our ability to harmonize the frequency of the heart with the frequency of the mind for optical ability to create the reality we desire. You literally got the option right there to create a reality you desire. It's really right there. Perception and coherence. Do you understand what you see? Do you understand what's meant to be yours? Do you understand how to get it? Get it. That's what I mean whenever I'm like, get it, get it. You know when something is yours. You know when something belongs to you, right? Can you believe that? Like when people would, especially that's why it hurts so much when there were these little boys that would be like, yeah, yeah, women don't know what they want. Women don't know what they want. That's an example of a predator trying to destroy a human condition for other people, for other individuals, and that they have attempted to, if not successfully, destroyed a human condition for others, which means real death, which means actually killing someone. Do you understand? It means that someone out there has been incapacitated from perceiving what really belongs to them and what isn't belonging to them, whether or not they've done it, because some people do it to themselves too. Oh, don't forget, that's how they lose their own human condition. So they lose the capacity to understand what's for them and what isn't, even though that's something that is a part of being human. It's not like, oh, you're a woman and then you're a woman, you're a man, you only know. That's not how it works. Fertility. The frequency of fertility invites us to be more open, be more courageous, more creative, more joyful than we were before, activates the potential for something beautiful to grow from our consciousness into new and grander expressions of ourselves. You see, we go from being aware and being authentic to authenticizing, authenticating. See, fertility, sacral chakra energy, right? Then because you see how it becomes like one with integrating with sacral chakra, because it's now like a mesh profile of understanding. You can see what is meant for you. You can see how to get it. You can see where to go from it. Now it's about what you're going to do with it, how you're going to grow with it, how you're going to plant seeds in that soil. You see what I mean? That's why I said mesh profile. How what is the mold that you're going to use to put that mesh on? How are you going to generate? You see what I mean? From that, the heart, mind. You see what I mean? And then magic comes through. The frequency of magic supports our intrinsic ability to grow and expand beyond this moment, to move towards possibilities and expressions that are grand and profound as we can imagine. All that is required is our belief in their manifestation. You see, from going from unlimited experience and expressions, the courageousness, right, into magic, where we're like, okay, let's shoot for the moon, land on the stars, shoot for the stars, land for the moon. You know what I'm saying? Where we can really like we're magic is like in essence compensating our imagination, right? Compensating our imagination with passion. You see what I'm saying? As we compensate our imagination with passion, we reach a state of consciousness that expands, right? Then Gaia. See, Gaia comes in, expansion, nature. See, the juxtaposition of compensating our imagination also means interacting with the world around us, right? Right? You don't get a good imagination by sitting in the dark all day, rocking back and forth in anxiety. You see how much has been stolen? You don't get a good imagination by watching the people that you love die in front of you, or what do you call it, being afraid of like love, or being, you know what I mean, scared of interact. You don't get a good imagination from that. But those that you get to walk around and feel fresh air and breathe and, get all these amazing experiences from the world, right? They obviously have a good imagination, and and when you compensate that imagination with those experiences, you see what I'm saying? Compensating your imagination with those experiences, those wholesome experiences, literally gives you a better relationship with Gaia, which is the Mother Earth, gives you a better relationship with your planet, which wouldn't make you feel like, oh, I'm stuck here and the world and nature is against me. No, because then it's like you're interacting with, you're immersing yourself with life. That's why it's magical Gaia, fairy kingdom energy, paradise frequency. That's all love energy. See, compassion. Then compassion comes out, right? Ability to stand by others without judgment, and divine mediator between heaven and earth, spirit and matter, so that unconditional love can flow from source through our heart and into the world. So then it's like you're not seeing like the human condition. That's that flux. You see what I'm saying? The human condition isn't, like, you know what I mean? Feeling like you're choosing the wrong people to be around, or that you're forced, not forced, that you're choosing the wrong people to be around, or you're not choosing anyone to be around. That's the extreme. It's between everyone and it's wrong, or it's or no one and it's wrong. See, anyone is the right answer, but not only anyone, but just anyone. You see what I mean? It's like it's someone, but it's someone that of your choosing. That's it. They're anyone. They could be anyone. You see? But they just could be anyone. You see what I'm saying now? There's a balance. And if you like, that's why if you feel like, oh, that's weird, that's why you gotta heal. That's why you gotta cleanse it. Because then you gotta understand that just because that's your best friend doesn't mean that they're more important than somebody else. You see what I'm saying? Like they're just anyone else. Like, be for real. You see what I'm saying? They could be anyone. Like that's the reality. But it's because you chose that person. You see what I'm saying now? That's why you have to kill that ego and all that jazz, right? But that's the human condition, is between everyone or no one. But when it came to people like me, who the human condition had been like broken and stuff like that, it was like never anyone of my choosing. And then it was also never really alone at the same time. So it was like everyone not of my choosing, or would you call it? Would you call it never really being alone, even if it seemed like it. And it was just like never, like there was no balance. It was just not fair. Like I could, like even if I was alone, even if I would seem like I was alone, I was never really alone. I'm still not alone. And like people would, like, if you know how people would say it, like they would, like, you see how I'm saying it, how I would say like, oh yeah, I'm not alone, and people would be like, yeah, because she's got God with her, like, you know what I mean? For people it would be like, yeah, you're never really alone. For me it was like a threat. You're like, I knew that they were stalking me, like I knew that this was happening, right? And I could prove it and I could show it, but like I said, it's like that human condition, the false juxtaposition that I was in. It was like no matter what I did, it was then like everyone that was there to to be there to watch that happen were all the wrong people. Like it was never right. Like if I had to stand in court, like I stood in court. The judge was corrupt, the person typing was fucked up, the people there were fucked up, like it was all fucked up. They spread lies and perjured that, like it was all messed up, like it was all messed up, it was all the wrong people. And it was like, what the fuck, like even though I was in alignment to win. You see what I mean? So y'all have the opportunity, if you know you're in alignment to win, like there's a 90% chance to 100% chance. You see that? You see? And bonus, if you answer the bonus question, right? Now there's 110 chance that you would win. From a 98% to 110 chance that you would win if you're in alignment of winning as a human being. That's your human condition. For me, and for me, they try to destroy that. So I didn't even get a chance. I didn't even get a chance where people got to explore the whole spectrum, where individuals get to explore even just one side or the other side, or maybe the whole entirety of the middle, even if they understand or don't understand it, at least that they could experience it. I just wasn't given an opportunity. I just never stood a fucking chance. So compassion is there, right? And then there's the sacral chakra. The frequency of the sacral chakra is the orange flower of life, supports our ability to flow with our desires and stimulates our creative power to manifest success and abundance in our life. You see what I'm saying? And that's the engine. So someone is trying to make me feel like my engine is rusty, my sacral chakra. They're trying to make me feel like that's what it is. Like they're trying to make it seem like there it is again. They're trying to pull superiority from my sacral chakra and make it seem like it's theirs. Like, yeah, there's the dynamic. Supports our ability to harmonize between layers and aspects of different origin and frequencies, helps us put together a reality that is made up of different elements, both familiar and completely new. Ease, grace, and great joy. Cosmic flower. Yeah, there it is. Solar plexus. So it comes, you see how it like, it's all like that? It like, that's like this is like, it's like natural digestion. Like it like literally comes like that and then it comes outwards. Emergence. And then tantric journey. Tantra is like the entanglement, like quantum entanglement of sanctity and reality coming in as one through a manifestation of devotion and so on and so forth. It's really deep, but people do it all the time. So, right, they don't see it as deep. But tantric journey, delight. So that's the juxtaposition. Remember, I just gave you different elements, right? That's what I mean. So that's like a juxtaposition, right? That's the juxtaposition. So this is all internal. That whole thing is internal, and then this is the real action. This is when the key is put in the lock, and the key is turned. You see what I mean? The key is turned in the lock, and that's it. And then divine masculine, divine feminine energy, right? Merkaba, and then the willpower. Then the rest is for the will, like rest is for God's will. You see what I mean? By God's grace, by God's will. See, realization, conception. Whatever it is that is by God's grace, by God's will, that's what it is that's going to come through the Merkaba energy. You see what I mean? Through the transcending and transcendence, the action, deliberate perception, deliberacy, like everything that comes into, like if it, yeah, her chakra. If it was that for me, like for example, if it was to get this Instapot, right? For example, that would have been so difficult for me in my past. It would have been so hard for me in my past, right? To just get myself an Instapot, right? Because I got a real Instapot, dude. Finally did. So now I can cook in my apartment. Finally, like I can make myself food from my apartment in my apartment without people trying to fucking like kill me and shit like that, right? Finally. And I can also like, would you call it, eat like my own food and actually experiment on what I like and like what kind of food I'm trying to make and stuff like that, and like stews and soups. And I can finally make myself chicken soup. Oh, I can finally make myself my own chicken soup, like finally. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy. I can finally make myself like matzo ball soup. I can finally make myself soup. Okay, I'm really excited about that. But would you call it, um back in the past, I wouldn't have been able to do that at all. I wouldn't have been able to do that. I wouldn't have been able to, um, you know what I mean? I just wasn't in the juxtaposition to do that. But I got like a chance. I got like this little moment, this window of opportunity, like this very tiny window of opportunity to be in juxtaposition. And I was for the longest time. Remember I told you guys. So this is one of those, this little one of those, like those moments. You see what I mean? And I was able to get that. And so like I'm just so excited. Like you know what I mean when someone is in the car and they go and then they move slightly forward in the car, right? That was me. I like move forward, right? Finally, and I was just like, oh my gosh, because before it was like someone would like hold the car, so if it did it would like it still wouldn't move forward, it wouldn't move an inch, so it didn't seem like that, right? And then, right, um, what happened when I had that engine, what you call a moment, when I was in that engine moment? I think, oh, right, I got foam for my bedding, right? I got foam for my bedding, what you call it, so I wouldn't be sleeping directly on the pillows on the ground. So I have like pillows and then the ground, but now I have like foam and then the pillows and the ground. So now I have like, what you call it? So now I have like something to like, you know what I mean, soften it up whenever I'm laying down. Yeah, so that's what I'm doing. Yay. My iPad was stolen, you guys, so like I can't really make digital art right now. My tablet is maybe my tablet is rusty. Maybe that's what it is. The engine of my tablet. My tablet's so old now and I haven't switched it on in forever. I probably could get a new wire for it because I can't find the wire. Someone stole my wire for it. You see what I'm talking about? The wire that I need to connect it to the wall, it had been stolen, right? So I like the HDMI cord got stolen 4 times, like literally. So now I have like 3 extra HDMI cords just in case. But what you call it? But the thing that connects it to let me see and make sure. Yeah, the thing that connects it to the wall got stolen. Right. Yeah. So yeah, and so like I need to get that. That moves more like an engine, if anything. The wire, the adapter wire that connects the computer to to the wall, that would more work like more like it, even though it's an adapter, right? Yeah, but still, because the engineer, you see what they be doing? The engineer isn't the one who makes the engine, is it? No, it's the one who makes the adapter. I don't know. We're gonna look it up. Because engineer would mean that they make an engine, but why do they make programs? Maybe I'm not getting something. Maybe it really is that obvious that the engineer does make the engine and I'm just tripping dick right now. Systems architect, right? Programmer, application engineer. You see what I'm talking about? So they are an engineer. These motherfuckers be lying. You see what people be doing? They be like, people lie so much about their career. They just call themselves an engineer. I'm an engineer. I'm an engineer. They don't fucking make engines. Fucking annoying as hell. Yeah, so that's what I thought. They're engineers. They make engines. I was looking at me going in circles because people want to lie. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, that's it, you guys. I hope you guys have a wonderful day and do your own research. See you. Bye. Thank you for watching.